Hey everybody, Jeff aka GCurse here with one of these videos I haven't done in a long time. I think it's been over a year, just a lot of stuff going on, and I just don't really have the time anymore to really dedicate to the high production commentary videos when it comes to Unsolved Mysteries. But that doesn't mean I don't think that the cases should go unsolved or light be dimmed, I guess you could say. Basically, this is the continuation of Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. It's a little project I started last year during the summer. Basically, I was just gonna kind of read a case to you from the Unsolved Mysteries wiki, and I will also put in the description of this video the case that you can actually watch on the Unsolved Mysteries YouTube page or YouTube channel, whatever you would prefer to call it. I used to actually I actually did a lot of the commentary videos, for Unsolved Mysteries. Sadly, the producers of Unsolved Mysteries Cosgrove Muir, they decided that punishing the fans who only want to help get these cases solved, that was like some mortal sin, because every one of the videos that I have put up, with the exception of 2 or 3, have been blocked. And to me, it really shows where their best interest is, and it isn't in solving these cases. It's basically silencing people if it does not give them money, I guess you could say. And which is kind of sad, because their whole thing is, we love our fans. We got our videos on YouTube for our fans. We got a new a new series on Netflix for our fans. But what happens when those fans want to help get these cases solved? They go after those fans. No, they don't care about the fans. They care about their money. So, that's all another reason why I kind of stopped doing the commentary videos. It's just that it takes time, and then to, put a lot of time and dedication into it, to upload it, and then all of a sudden be blocked because 2 old fucks who do not understand how the world works nowadays got their panties in a twist. They decide, oh no, we don't like that. We don't like that. Block that person, So to that, I gotta say, fuck you. So today, I'm going to be reading the case of Dottie Caylor. And if you are curious about Dottie Caylor, I am going to put in the description of this video the timestamp for the Dottie Caylor case, so you can actually watch it at your own leisure. Basically, what it is now, I am not like the majority of the fans of Unsolved Mysteries. I will not jump to a conclusion if the case has not been solved. There are cases where somebody has been killed and the fan base will be like, oh, that guy over there, he's totally guilty, even though there's only circumstantial evidence. This is one of those cases. I am not going to jump on the whole, it's his fault, he did something to her. I want to see evidence before that happens. So, the case of Dottie Caylor is a husband and wife who had extreme difficulties with the relationship, to the point that they would actually fight, and apparently the fighting drove the husband away from the wife for quite a few years of their marriage. The wife ended up becoming agoraphobic. If I remember correctly, that is the fear of open places with other people. She became agoraphobic, and then shortly later, after he came back, she ended up leaving him. Or she ended up going on a trip on a train I think it was to go see a friend. It's been so long since I actually saw this case. But I think it was to go see a friend. Well, Dottie was never seen from again. And the common thing with the fan base is, oh, it's the husband. He did it. He did it. He did it. I'm not going to jump on that, and I'll give you my thoughts at the end after I'm done reading it. But I'm going to read you the case. You can make an educated decision of your own free will, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts. But let's get started, shall we? Okay, I am back. Here, I just want to make sure I'm recording. Okay, it looks like it's recording. Wait. Yeah, it's recording. Good. Okay, so Dottie Caylor. Real name is Dorothy May Resnick Caylor. Nickname is Dottie. Location is Pleasant Hill, California. The date was June the 12th, 1985. Where were you on June the 12th of 1985? I can tell you where I was. I was not doing much because I was only 3 years old. So let's continue on. Her biography. Occupation is unrevealed. The date of her birth was January 9th, 1944. She was a height of 5'9", weight is 190. She was. I'm always going to put was because we don't know what happened to Dottie. She's either alive, and if she is, then she is technically still married, if I remember correctly. I think they may have got the state may have divorced, gave like a separation or whatever. But if she's dead, then she was married. So I'm going to is or was until there is proof definitively of one way or another. Characteristics: she is a Caucasian male with brown hair and blue eyes. She suffers from agoraphobia, the fear of public places. Okay, and during when I'm reading these cases, I'm going to get a quick drink. That way I can keep my voice going. Details. Let's see here. I'm just curious if I can, or does it? Okay. On June 12th, 1985, Dottie Caylor was dropped off by her husband, Jewel, at the BART station in Pleasant Hill, California. 18 miles from Oakland, she entered and purchased a ticket. A simple task performed each day by millions. However, this was a test of courage for her. She suffers from agoraphobia, which is an irrational, overwhelming fear of being in public places. Now, regarding the whole agoraphobia thing, being irrational, I highly doubt that it's irrational. If I can't recall correctly, I know that there was a time that they came, at least it was mentioned in the case. Like I said, I'm going to put the timestamp in the description so you can watch all of this. But if I remember correctly, I think there was allegations of physical violence. And I'm wondering if the physical violence could actually trigger a person to become agoraphobic. Like a form of PTSD. I'm not a counselor, so don't say don't quote me as being right. I'm just saying I'm wondering if the physical violence that these two inflicted upon each other could have caused the wife to become agoraphobic. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see here. I'm just trying to highlight this so I can keep an eye on where I am. No one knows if she overcame it to that day and actually boarded the train. What is for certain is that there has been no trace of her since. So, June 12th of 85, so 85 to 95, 95, 2005, 2005 to 2015. It's been about 37 years, roughly, give or take, a year or two, if my math is correct. So, it's been almost 4 decades that this lady has been, she's been, I don't want to say declared disappeared, but she's been gone for nearly 4 decades, so. And this is why I like the thought of people who are fans or watch these shows. I feel that it's our duty as fans of this series to try to keep the light shining on some of these older cases. Because I know damn well Cosgrove and Muir, they don't give a flying fuck. about these cases. They got their money and they ran. Okay, so Jewel claimed that after the first few days, he figured that she had temporarily left to make things inconvenient for him. Her sister Diane thought it was possible that she could disappear to get even with him, since he had disappeared on her for half their married life. However, she does not believe that she could do that for a long period of time and not contact any of her loved ones. Immediately after Dottie disappeared, her friends wondered why a woman so afraid of the unknown would leave everything she had and everyone she knew. At first, they thought she may have left to escape an unhappy marriage and start a new life in another city. However, as the months and years elapsed, there was no word from her. Holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries went by. Now her friends and family are wondering if she may have actually met with foul play. They also wonder if Jewel may have had something to do with her disappearance. He, however, maintains his innocence. Dottie and Jewel married in 1973. He was an entomologist with the National Forest Service. They settled in Oakland, the Oakland suburb of Concord. Over the years, however, Dottie's home became a self-imposed prison. According to Jewel, her agoraphobia caused her to stay inside most of the time. He recalled that she couldn't even apply for a job, much less hold one down. Their marriage deteriorated. She was home alone because he was working out of town over 50% of the time. In November of 1981, Dottie and Jewel's relationship erupted in violence. Dottie told a friend, Paula, that they had gotten into an argument. According to her, it escalated to the point where he finally hit her with a board or similar object, and she received a wound to her head. She then grabbed a pair of scissors to protect herself and told him to get away from her. He, Jewel, however, claimed that she started the fight. He claimed that she stood over him with the scissors, swearing at him and saying that she would kill him. He claimed that he hit her with her typing stand in self-defense. In 1984, Dottie joined a support group called Women in Transition. Without ever telling Jewel, she attended meetings for over a year. Her friends in it felt she had made a tremendous amount of progress during the time that she was with them. They also noticed that she began to make changes in her appearance. She added more color to her outfits, took better care of her hair, and even cut it in a new style, which was particularly challenging for her. Jewel claimed that he knew nothing about her secret life until she disappeared. However, he did say that he was suspicious of her. Okay, now, regarding, that portion. If she is agoraphobic, I don't think she would have done, or so she was agoraphobic to the point that she would willingly go to this transitions group. I'm not saying she didn't go there. I'm totally sure she did, and if she did, good for her. No one should be in a violent relationship. I'm just saying that maybe her agoraphobia wasn't as bad as we all thought it could be. Okay, so Dottie secretly rented a post office box so she could receive mail without Jewel's knowledge. She opened a bank account and transferred $5,000 into a cashier's check. Then, 1 month before she disappeared, Jewel told her that he had to accept a job transfer to Salt Lake City. According to him, she said that in the event that he got transferred, she was not interested in going with him. As a result, he did not expect her to do so. This is sounding more and more not like she was not agoraphobic. Like I don't. Like I said, I think if she was agoraphobic, it was a very minor role in this whole story. Because the fact is, apparently, she was able to get money. It doesn't say exactly how, like, was the money all from Jewel? Or did she have some sort of side job, possibly, that Jewel did not know about? And the fact that she was not willing to even want to move with Jewel basically says a lot about how their relationship just, self-destructed by this point. Because even if a relationship's on bad terms, before the total just falling apart, people will try to fix it. And the fact that she didn't want to, she I'm not going with you. You can go by yourself. I don't care. That goes to show exactly how just destroyed the relationship was. According to Jewel, on Wednesday, June 12, 1985, Dottie set off on an overnight trip. He drove her to the Pleasant Hill BART station and dropped her off at the entrance. He claimed that she had her purse and a small overnight bag with her. However, he did not know if she ever boarded the train. At around noon the next day, Jewel returned home early from work and got off the Concord BART. At the Concord BART station. In the parking lot, he was surprised to find Dottie's Volkswagen next to his car. When he looked inside, he noticed her purse was in the driver's seat. She had previously told her friend Shelley that it was very important to her to have it with her at all times. When Shelley learned that it had been left behind, she became very concerned because she knew how important it was for Dottie to have it with her. Okay, now that I'm reading this, see, let's go back here. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, it says that Jewel drove her to the Pleasant Hill BART station. And then, let's see. Jewel returned home early from work, got off at the Concord BART station. Why would her car be there next to his? That's kind of weird. But to me, that is not enough evidence to basically, like I said, to jump on the fan wagon and go, he did it. No, I'm not like that. I want proof. There has been too many times in history where we will just blindly assume that somebody's guilt. That person is punished, and it turns out that person was innocent. So I prefer not to, share that mentality. You guys can't. I will not. Okay, let's see here. Let me take another drink. Jewel left a note on Dottie's car asking her to contact him. Over the next 4 days, he left 2 more notes talking about problems he was having with the house. He also expressed his love and pleaded with her to come home. After she had been missing for 4 days, Shelley talked to Jewel and asked him if he had gone to the police. He told her that he had not. She urged him to do so and report her missing. I can look at it both ways. Number one, it's like what they said earlier. Jewel left her for a good portion of their marriage. So he probably thought that she did the same thing. But also, why did Jewel not contact the police? If apparently he must still have feelings for her because he wrote these letters that express his love and all that. So it's like I said, it's very odd. Like you you love a woman, but you and her fight. You love a woman, but she doesn't want to go with you to Salt Lake. It's very murky, the water of this case. Let's see here. 5 days after Dottie vanished, Jewel filed a missing persons report with the BART police. The following day, the Concord Police Department finally notified of her disappearance. However, it was the BART police, not Jewel, that contacted them. Ooh, that's a little weird. 2 weeks after Dottie vanished, Jewel moved to Salt Lake City. Now, it isn't like he ran. It was plainly stated in the beginning of this, this story that I'm reading to you, that he got a job. He had a transfer. It isn't like he was on the run because he did that. We're aware of that he did something wrong. No, his job for the Forest Service, I think it was the Forest Service, basically said, no, your ass is go. You work for us. You go where we tell you to go. So it isn't like he was running because of what happened to Dottie. He left because he had no choice. He had to go, a job transfer. Okay, see, back in Concord, Diane hired a private investigator, Francie Kohler. Based on her investigation, she is almost certain that foul play was involved in Dottie's disappearance, as their attempts to locate her turned up no new leads. Diane and Francie started to worry that she might be dead. They began to consider Jewel a suspect. And that's only natural because you always look at the people closest. If somebody disappears or somebody's murdered, you always look at the ones closest to that person. And then you start expanding outwards. So the whole fact, this is one reason that a lot of people go, oh, see, Jewel did it. It's natural to always look at the people closest first. They have noted that they cannot even be certain that Dottie ever made it to the BART station, since Jewel is the only person that claims to have seen her there. He has stated that he is not bothered by the fact that he is considered a possible suspect in her disappearance. He suspects that she either willfully disappeared and was then helped to permanently disappear, or met with foul play at the hands of an unknown individual. Dottie's loved ones still hope to find out what happened to her. So, that is the main details of this case. And like I said, this is not a unique case. There are cases there are times, every day there is a relationship that is going down in flames and people disappear. I'm not going to, until there is a body, I am not going to say that he killed her. And if a body is ever located, I want to know what happened to that body. I want to know if forensics can determine what caused her life or her to pass away. Was it natural or was it, homicidal violence? I refuse to point at him, Jewel, or anybody else until all the facts are brought to light. Suspects. Jewel is considered a possible suspect in Dottie's disappearance. He was the last person to see her alive, and no one else can verify if she ever made it there. He was also physically abusive toward her in the past. When Jewel and Dottie first met, Jewel used a false name because he was already married and had a 5-year-old daughter. Now I don't recall that actually being in the video, so that's actually something new I just learned now. See here. Prior to Dottie's disappearance, they had discussed divorce. Dottie planned on staying in their house when Jewel moved to Colorado. I thought he was going to Salt Lake. Hold on, let's go back. Let's see here. I thought it was Salt Lake. Oh yeah, Salt Lake City. And Salt Lake's in Utah. I'm wondering why they're saying Colorado here. That's weird. She opened a bank account, applied for credit cards in her own name, and had her own post office box. At the time of her disappearance, he was engaged to another woman and was frustrated that she would be living in their old house, and he would have to pay her alimony. Ooh, this is actually not looking good. Jewel, this is not looking good, dude. Ugh. Okay, so extra notes. This case first aired on the November 29th, 1987 episode. Hey, I was 6 years old at the time. Results. Unsolved. Authorities now believe that Dottie met with foul play and is deceased. Jewel later remarried in 2004. He was officially named by the police as a person of interest in this case, after he ran as a candidate for Utah House of Representatives as a Libertarian Party candidate. Interest in this case sparked through several news articles, causing him to withdraw from the race. In June, a 140-page search warrant affidavit filed in Contra Costa County Superior Court included 29 reasons why police suspect Dottie was killed by Jewel. Some of the reasons are noted. Please note include. Okay, hold on, let me get a drink here. Now, before I continue on, I'm still going by the fact that Jewel is the most that they're targeting him because he's the closest. Until either he confesses or there is a body that has some sort of DNA on it, I'm going to look at this as, she could be dead, she could have been murdered, but it could be random acts of murder. I want to know for sure before I start, participating in the witch hunt that Jewel did it. Okay, so here are some of the reasons that the police noted. Allegations by Dottie that Jewel was violent and abusive towards her. Dottie telling friends and family that she was afraid of him. Jewel's secret engagement to another woman 6 months prior to Dottie's disappearance. Jewel reported Dottie missing on June 19th, even though he told the police he had not expected her to return until June 24th. That's a little suspicious. Jewel signing a contract on June 7th to put their Concord house up for rent, even though he told the police and others that he had been forced to rent it after she disappeared because her signature was required to sell or mortgage it. The implausibility of Jewel's story about finding Dottie's car parked next to his at the BART station parking lot. Yeah, that's really weird, because why would her car be there if he dropped her off, Statements Jewel made to his fiancée claiming she had to make a Herculean effort to be with her. An effort she might not know or understand. Wait, hold on. Let me read this again, because statements Jewel made to his fiancée claiming that he had to make a Herculean effort to be with her, an effort she might not know or understand, and that he would do anything for her, even kill. Ooh. But once again, right now, these are regarding the, it's statements. Isn't that kind of like his word versus her word? Is there video evidence of him saying this? I want evidence. The statements made by Jewel to his fiancée frightened her so much she broke off contact with him. A strange letter was written by an unknown individual, possibly Jewel, that describes how Jewel killed Dottie and buried her body in a remote area. I can imagine Jewel possibly doing that, writing a letter to try to throw off everybody, In 2005, police searched Jewel and Dottie's old home for evidence. However, nothing was found, and no charges have ever been filed. If she is alive, she would be 78 years old as of January 9th, 2022. Okay, and this is actually just prior to recording this. I skimmed this real quickly, and mainly to see if they had any find a grave information. And the information they had here was a little bit out of date. It said it was like it's like mid 70s, so I added a little bit more reference to it. And if you're curious, you can actually go. There's a website called calculator.net, and you can actually put in dates, and it'll give you the years and everything. So that's what I did. Alright, no. Okay, and then let's see here. And then that's basically it. As I'm looking at this, I don't see anything in the way of like a find a grave. Let's see here. We can always check out Dottie's mother's Susan, her obituary. If it's long, page not found. Well, okay, well then. That does that, I guess. Okay, so let me here. Hold on one second. Okay, I am back, everybody. Now here are my final thoughts. Upon reading some more of this, it does make, some of the things that was reported in this wiki. It does make Jewel seem a little bit suspicious, especially with like the fiance breaking off contact with him. That is kind of suspicious, but there are creepy people out there, I think that we should be a society that values evidence. And if we just start literally just pointing the finger and forming mobs, I'm not saying that, Jewel is innocent or guilty. I'm not saying that, but if he is punished and he didn't do it, then the person who actually did do it got away with it. So I think it's always best to try to get all the evidence possible before we start getting the pitchforks and the torches and start burning down the houses. I could definitely I can honestly see Dottie leaving, though. By the sounds of it, they had a physical relationship that was violent, or a violent relationship, I guess you could say. I am not going to say that one person is more innocent than the other. By the sounds of it, they fucked each other up. They did. I'm not going to take one person's side over the other. I am going to remain neutral, and that's a hard thing nowadays. The big thing is always jump on one side and let it be that. No, the key is you got to be neutral until all evidence comes to light. I think that they just were not meant to be together. He left her for a good portion of their marriage. Apparently, he beat the shit out of her. She beat the shit out of him. This is one of those cases where it really kind of leaves you to make the final decision. What do I think happened to Dottie? I think she's dead. She is 78 years old as of recording this video. The older you get, it's harder to remain anonymous in society. The older you get, you will start needing to rely on the medical field. For example, your body starts breaking down. You need to see doctors. There has to be some sort of paper trail if she is alive. It isn't like it was in the 70s or 80s. It isn't like that anymore. You have to have some sort of digital, presence when you go see a doctor. You need to have insurance. You need to have identification. If she's alive, she's out there. But I just don't think she's alive. As sad as it is, I think she is dead. Did she die of natural causes? I don't know. Did she die of homicidal violence? I don't know. All I believe is that she passed away. And, the one person that may know what happened to her is Jewel. But until the evidence is brought to light, all we can do is just speculate. So that is it for Black Site Files from Unsolved Mysteries. Today I did Dottie Caylor, a battered wife who ended up disappearing. Is she dead? Is she alive? I don't know. Yeah. But I am going to back out. And like I said, in the description of this video, I will put the link to the Dottie Caylor case. It will be, right at that spot, so you don't even have to fast forward it or anything. It'll take you right there. And until then, I'm going to do another one of these videos in a couple days. But let me know in the comments section, do you believe that Dottie Caylor is still alive? Do you think she is dead? Do you think she died of natural causes? Do you think she was murdered by her husband? Do you think that she ran foul of somebody in general? Let me know what you think in the comments section, and I'll see you all very soon for the next Black Site. Take it easy, everybody.